Hey guys, how you guys doing? As you guys know, today is day 3 of your final, and your final is next week, next Thursday. Hopefully you did all your homework. Hopefully you guys were stamped. Hopefully you sent all the homework to me via Shobi. So let's get started on the lesson, so you guys can start on the homework early today. So today we're gonna be reviewing chapter 3. Let's get started. On your notes, we have two problems. So we're going to solve these one-step equations. 8 equals m minus 13. If you guys forgot how you do this, remember what we want to do is to do the inverse or opposite operation of what's being done to the variable. So you want to cancel the minus 13. So what you want to do is add 13 to both sides. Then what you want to do is cancel this part and then simplify things. So the answer for this is 21 equals m. For the next one, I have y over negative 3 equals 8. I want to cancel that division of negative 3, so I multiply both sides by negative 3. These cancel out, and therefore my answer will be, after I simplify, y equals to negative 24. Remember, the easiest way to check your work, guys, is by plugging back the number back into the equation to see if it actually works out. Let's look at letter C. Now, if you guys recall, we have a fraction for this problem being multiplied to the variable. You guys should remember how to cancel the 1/6 when you multiply it to x. How do we do that? We do that by fraction busting. If you guys forgot how to fraction bust, basically you multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the fraction. In this case, the fraction is 1/6, so the reciprocal would be 6 over 1. So you multiply both sides by 6 over 1. The fractions cancel out there. So you have x equals to negative 18. Okay, that was section 3.1. Let's go to section 3.2. This was solving two-steps equations. In order to solve letter A, t divided by 4 minus 3 equals 9. What we want to do is first cancel the addition. Okay? So, we want to cancel the subtraction. To cancel the subtraction, you do addition. So you first add 3 to both sides. You cancel the 3's, drop down everything you didn't touch, and then simplify. So you get t divided by 4 equals to 12. At this point, we now have a one-step equation, and we want to cancel the division of 4. So you multiply both sides by 4. Therefore, after you simplify, you get t equals to 48. For letter B, we don't want to do any canceling for letter B right now. If you guys notice, I have two variables on the left-hand side of the equal sign. So what we want to first do is simplify by combining like terms. 6p minus 2p becomes 4p after I simplify. I now want to cancel the 4. Since I'm multiplying by 4 right now, in order for me to cancel it, I divide 4 to both sides. Therefore, I get p is equal to 7. Okay, guys, let's go to the next problem. So for 3.3, solving multi-step equations, it gets kind of complicated. Hopefully, you guys are able to do this. So how do we do this? So for letter A, if you guys don't recall, what you want to do is simplify by doing distributive property first. So we want to do distributive property right here. So under 3 times m, 3 times 2. Therefore, I get 3m plus 6. Then what I'm going to do is drop down everything I didn't touch, and therefore I get 7m plus 3m plus 6 equals to negative 24. Notice again, I have two variables on the left-hand side. So what I want to do is simplify this by combining like terms. So 7m plus 3m is 10m. Drop down everything I didn't touch. So at this point, I now have a two-step equation. I want to first cancel that plus 6 by subtracting 6 from both sides. Those cancel out. I then get 10m equals to negative 24 minus 6 equals to negative 30. I then divide both sides by 10. And therefore, I get m is equal to negative 3. Letter B. If you guys look at letter B, I have a fraction. I don't like that fraction up front. So what I'm going to do is fraction bust. In order for me to fraction bust that 3/4, I'm going to multiply both sides by 4/3. At this point, those cancel out, and I get 2y minus 8. I then will simplify 6 times 4/3. I put a 1 under the 6. I then simplify by cross-canceling. And I notice that 3 goes to both into 6 and to 3. So the 3 becomes a 1, the 6 becomes a 2. I then multiply it out. I get 8. I now have a two-step equation. The next thing I do is add 8 to both sides. Those cancel out. I then get 2y equals to 16. I then divide 2 to both sides. And therefore, my answer is y is equal to 8. Okay, next problem. This is 3.4. In this case, we have variables on both sides of the equal sign. For letter A, I have 10 minus 2x equals 3x minus 20. If you guys do not recall, the general rule I gave you guys was first cancel the smallest variable. I have a 3x and then I have a negative 2x. Which one is smaller? That's negative 2x. So the way I cancel that negative 2x or minus 2x is add 2x to both sides. These cancel out. I now simplify, drop down everything I didn't touch. So 10 equals to 5x minus 20. I then want to add 20 to both sides. These cancel out. So 10 plus 20 is 30 equals 5x. I then divide both sides by 5. Therefore, I get 6 is equal to x. For letter B, I'm going to do a certain property first. I'm going to do distributive property first. So therefore, I get 6y minus 15 equals 4y minus 7. I still have variables on both sides of the equal sign, and I will cancel the 4y by subtracting the 4y from both sides. This cancels out, and therefore I get 2y minus 15 equals to -7. You have to be careful with that. What I will then do is add 15 to both sides. Those cancel out, and therefore I get 2y is equal to 8. I then divide both sides by 2, and then y equals to 4. Hopefully you guys got that. These are very long problems. You do need to show a lot of work for this. Okay? Let's go to the very last problem. All right, so what I'm going to do for letter C is something I did before. I'm going to do the distributive property. 2 times 8m, 2 times that. So I get then 16m minus 14 equals 16m minus 14. So what I'm going to do is subtract 16m from both sides. These cancel out, and something funny happens at this point. I get -14 equals -14. There's a special name for this when the left side completely equals to the right side. The answer we give to this is all real solutions. In a problem where the left side definitely does not equal to the right side, we say no solution. But for this one, since the left side equals the right side, we give it all real solutions. All right, guys, that's the end of the lesson. You guys can start the homework. It's on the homework sheet. Put it to Notability, show your work, complete your homework this weekend, and hopefully you guys will have it done and turned into Shobi tomorrow. All right, guys. See you guys later.